Page 129. Second blessing from the bottom. This might be a new melody. Ki yeshmera Shabbat el yishmereni. Ki yeshmera Shabbat el yishmereni. Oti leomead beino veini. Oti Ki yeshmera Shabbat el yishmereni. Odi leomead beino uveini. Odi leomead beino uveini. Let's just try with lila's. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good Shabbos to all of you, and a special welcome to those of you who are with us for the first time, or the second, or the third, or even the fourth. Very happy to celebrate Shabbat with you at the end of this week. Now, as I think many of you know, maybe not everybody, next weekend we are going to be celebrating pretty much every day the festival of Purim. So Friday night we have a very special program. Saturday evening, you're going to hear more about this in the announcements, a gala fundraiser. Sunday we have a carnival during school time. So we're going to be celebrating one of the most joyous days and events in the Jewish tradition. And what that means is that this Shabbat gets a special designation. And the designation for this Shabbat, the Shabbat before Purim, is called Shabbat Zachor, which means memory. And does anyone know what we're supposed to remember on this particular Shabbat? We're supposed to remember the arch villain of the Jewish people in the Bible, who is Amalek. And Haman, the villain of the Purim story in the book of Esther, which is hanging on the wall behind us, is Haman. And Haman supposedly was descended from Amalek. So this particular Shabbat, we're supposed to be cognizant of anti-Semitism, of those villainous anti-Semites who would try to harm us. Amalek in the Bible, Haman in the story of Purim. And it's a time to really think about the dangers facing the Jewish community. And it's important, as we all know, to call out anti-Semitism where we see it, whether it takes the form of the pogrom in Israel on October 7th, or even more less violent expressions of anti-Semitism, like the gentleman on Browns Valley Road who constantly posts these anti-Semitic signs in front of his house. I think, and I've said this before, and I'd like to say it again on Shabbat Zachor, that one of the best ways to combat anti-Semitism is not just by calling it out, not just by talking to local authorities or writing letters to the editor or holding protest rallies. All of those are important. But I think the most important way to confront anti-Semitism is to live a vibrant and committed Jewish life, to support your local community, to incorporate Jewish practices and values into your lives, to study Jewish texts. And I think by all of you being here on a Friday night, rather than watching TV or going to a bar or grabbing an early dinner, just by being here tonight, you are showing some of that commitment. So I commend all of you for being here tonight, for many of you being here every Friday night, and each of us in our own way has to figure out a way to live that dynamic Jewishness. That is the way we're going to defeat anti-Semitism. That's how we've done it for millennia, and that's how we'll do it for millennia to come. So with that in mind, let's continue to honor our traditions by lighting our Shabbat candles. So I'd like to invite up Roberta Solomon to do us that honor. And if you want to follow the bracha, the blessing, it's on page 120 in your Siddurim, in your prayer books.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
You can sing it now.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. That was an interesting key.
It's your key.
Thank you.
Sure.
So often now, we pick from a variety of songs during the Kabbalat Shabbat service. As I've said before, many of the real signature songs were written only 400 years ago, which is not very long in our community, a 6,000-year-old community. We often do Shalom Alechem or Lachadodi or some of the others. Tonight, Gordon wanted to do a new melody for Yedid Nefesh, which is a song I don't think we've done for a while. It's on page 128. The only thing I just want to say about this very short prayer is just what the first couple of what the first verse really represents. We're praying to God, we're celebrating God, we're welcoming Shabbat, and we're referring to God as Yedid Nefesh, partner or friend of our soul. That is what a Yedid Nefesh is. And also Av HaRachamam, parent of compassion. So we're celebrating the God who is near and dear to us, those of us who believe in God, and I know not all of us in the sanctuary necessarily do, but we're also praying to a God of compassion, a God who has empathy, a God who watches over us and cares about us. So let's think about that as we sing this song. I don't know which melody you want to do.
Yeah, it's the one that we'll see if I know it. It's got an extra line of Hebrew, so it doesn't quite, there's an additional line that's not in your prayer book. But we'll start with a nigun. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Lai 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 lai. Yedid nefesh av harachaman mishoch avdach el ritzonecha yarut avdach kemo ayal yishtachaveh el mul hadarach ki yerav lo yeditu tach minofet suf bechol ta'am. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai.
You know, everything is relative in Jewish liturgy, and you mentioned this was a new melody you wanted to introduce. In all the years I lived in Brooklyn, I used to often go to a very traditional Orthodox synagogue that was near my apartment, and this was the melody we would sing. So this is actually a very traditional melody, but it may be new for our community. Mm-hmm. But I've certainly sung this melody to this particular prayer before, and I really like it. So let's go to page 144. We're going to continue with the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitkadav yitkadash meraba B'alma divrach hirute v'amlich malchute B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala ba'agala uv'izman kahariv V'imeru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevarach Le'olam u'lo me'almaya Yitbarach Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitale V'yitala Shemei Dekudesha Barichu Le'ela Minchol Berchata V'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran bi'alma v'imeru. Amen.
Please rise, page 146.
Lai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Baruch hu et Adonai ha-mevorach Baruch Adonai ha-mevorach le'olam va'ed ha-mevorach le'olam va'ed.
Please remain standing. We continue at the top of page 149 in English. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv v'aravim. Page 151. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All of these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavacha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'aderech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam yilot al yadecha v'hayu latotafot bein einecha uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha lema'an tiskaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem lelohim ani Adonai Elohechem.
Page 157 at the top. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together.
Yam bam bam bim bim bye ya bye 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 bim bam Yum bum bum bim bye, ya bye 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 bim bum. Ya la 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 la, ya bye 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 bim bum. Ya la 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 la, ya bye 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 bim bum. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot o sefele, nora tehilot o sefele. Mahalachutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam. Zeli anu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Yam bam bam bim bim bay, ya ba bay bay bim bam. Yam bam bam bim bim bay, ya ba bay bay bim bam. Ya la 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 la, ya ba bay bay bim bam. Ya la 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 la, ya ba bay bay bim bam.
Page 161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shalomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shalomecha. Amen. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
The Amidah is on page 164. Once again, if you're able, please rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agit hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, L'man Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia, Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chayim B'Chesed, Mechaye HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'Gavurot, U'Midom Melach, Melech Memit, U'Mechayeh, U'Matmiach Yeshua, V'Ne'eman Atah LaHachayot HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye HaKol. Atah Kadosh v'Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kdoshim b'chol yom Yahalalu Chasela, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Page 178. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol eit u'v'chol sha'a b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Asim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Asim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Asim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
At this point in our service, we pause to think of those in need of healing on this Shabbat. Healing of body, healing of spirit, and healing of heart. And we ask God to bestow the bracha, the blessing of refuah shlema, full and complete healing on the following men and women from our congregation or those known and loved by our community. Ilana Massey, Kevin Brackett, Michelle Camissia, Kirk Whitlatch, Kathy Rotto, Aaron Ledden, Rachel Sadek, Michaela Cohen, Tracy Adams, Joan Wilmert, Kim Stevens, James Lynch, Don Copeland, Nancy Pollock, Pat Shapiro, Denise Robinson, Rachel Friedman, Debbie Alter Starr, Paula Schwartz Purvel, Ann Levinson, Marty Spitz, Joyce Sheffrin, Farrah Garber, Judy Feiner, Stephen Schoenfeld, Andrea De La Gana, Angel Lozano, Megan Kirschbaum, and Wendy Cochran. And if anyone has a name they'd like to add to this list, I invite you to share it with us. The Misha Barak prayer is on page 511.
Misha Barak Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishe Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos again and again. Welcome to those of you who are here for just the first or second or third time. I mentioned at the outset of services that this is a special Shabbat, the Shabbat before Purim. It's known as Shabbat Zachor, the Sabbath of remembering. And what we're remembering is those anti-Semitic forces that were out to destroy us. What we celebrate next week is the triumph of Jewish life over those forces. Now, the Torah portions that we have been reading over these last several weeks talk about the traditions and the practices of Judaism that I was suggesting earlier are the ways that we can successfully combat anti-Semitism, living vibrant, committed Jewish lives. And all of them take place after the revelation at Mount Sinai. Some commentators have said a little bit earlier in the book of Exodus, which is where we are, that the Exodus story, which we're going to celebrate here next month during the Passover Seder, is about the birth of the physical birth of the Jewish people. That's what Exodus is all about, the physical birth of the Israelites as a nation. What happens at Sinai is a little bit different. When God reveals the Ten Commandments and all of the other traditions and practices of Judaism, it doesn't represent the physical birth of the Jewish people. It represents the spiritual birth of the Jewish people. There is no real Judaism before that point. So all of the Torah portions since then really take place after the revelation at Mount Sinai. And what they focus on are really three different areas, and this week's Torah portion is no different. The first is all of the new laws and the rules and practices for the people of Israel, many of which have been handed down from generation to generation and are still with us today. The second object of focus during these last several Torah portions is the observance of sacred time, Shabbat, holy days, festivals, pilgrimages, etc. And the third is the building of sacred space, a physical site to represent the presence of God among them. In the Bible, in the Torah, it's called a mishkan, a tabernacle. It's referred to in this Torah portion. We'll be studying it tomorrow morning at Torah study. But that sacred space also applies to the temples that were built after the tabernacle, the first temple under Solomon, the second temple later on, but also synagogues today, sacred space. And in the Torah, and I think in Judaism as a whole, we blend all three of those things: sacred deeds, sacred time, and sacred space. This is what leads to an integrated life and to a connection with the divine, at least in the context of Jewish practice and Jewish thought. Now, when the Israelites leave Sinai, when they eventually leave Sinai and enter the land of Canaan, Israel, they do not leave God. They don't leave God behind. God accompanies them on their journey, and the tabernacle becomes a symbol of that relationship. They literally carry the tabernacle with them like nomads on their backs. Before all the details about the construction of the Mishkan, the tabernacle, the wood, the types of wood that are involved in its construction, the gold, the silver, the animal skins, the precious stones, all of these objects that make up the tabernacle, before all of that is described, God utters a very interesting and sort of unusual verse. And I'm quoting now from the Torah: "Let them," the Israelites, "make me a sanctuary, that I may dwell among them." This is in Exodus chapter 25. And it's very strange because God doesn't say, "Let them make me a sanctuary, that I may dwell in it." So why does it say among them rather than in it? And I think, as other commentators and rabbis have said, it's to teach us that God's presence is not found in a building. It is found in the hearts and in the souls of the people who fashion and sanctify that building. And in this way, it's similar to the idea of Kiddush and Motzi that we're going to be saying a little bit later tonight. There is nothing intrinsically sacred about wine or about challah. It is our words, it is our blessings that sanctify them. Judaism focuses far more on the spiritual rather than the material aspect of existence. Yet Judaism also acknowledges that there is a dynamic relationship between the two. We need the material just as we need the spiritual. So how do we find the right proportion of each, the spiritual and the material, in our lives? Abraham Maslow, the famous psychologist, said, we have a hierarchy of needs. We have to address the material aspect of our lives before we can address the loftier goals of spirituality, personal growth, self-actualization. And I would argue that finding the right balance between the spiritual and the material, finding the right timetable for focusing on each one, is the task and the challenge for all of us as Jews, and it is the task and the challenge of us as a community. And I hope that we will continue to find that balance, to find that timetable for working on these aspects of our lives and our community together in the weeks and months and years ahead. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will. We are going to continue now with the Aleinu on page 586. And again, if you are able, please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורר עלינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. Before we turn to our announcements, I want us to turn to page 552 and read a prayer for the people and the country of Israel. Please join me. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. It is my honor and privilege to invite up board member Cynthia Cohen to share some important announcements with all of us tonight.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Join Rabbi Goldstein at 10:30 tomorrow morning for Torah study. Thursday, March 13th, Your Right to Resilience will meet at the home of Catherine Goldman. Join us Friday night, March 14th, when we'll celebrate Purim during our Shabbat services. Come in costume, bring a grogger, hear the story of Purim, live musical performances, and nosh some hamantashen. Be sure to register for Saturday night, March 15th, Purim Masquerade Ball. Tickets are $60 per adult. Child care is available on a limited basis, and be sure to check out the sponsorship levels that are available. I promise you this will be a super great way to combat anti-Semitism, because this will be such a joyful event with a DJ, dancing, special appearance from Judd Fink, who will be making his famous signature cocktails, lots of fun, great food, raffles, etc. So I hope to see you all there. I'll be the one dressed like Queen Esther, maybe. The Purim Fund continues, yet another Purim Fest, on Sunday the 16th from 10 to 12 with a religious school-led carnival in the CBS parking lot. An email with details was sent this week. Help is needed for this event. Please contact Mara to help make it even better. CBS member-exclusive pool time is back. See the website for dates and monthly flyers and exact times and details. Our first date is set for Sunday, March 16th, following the Purim Carnival. The Soul Sisters will meet on Tuesday, March 18th to discuss The Hebrew Teacher by Maya Arad. Share in the simcha of the bar mitzvah of Bryson Underwood, and that's on March 21st and 22nd. The monthly movie screening of Fiddler on the Roof will be held on Monday, March 24th. Movie to start promptly at 6 p.m., so plan accordingly to gather your concessions. Take advantage of being the shul with the pool on Friday, March 28th from 3 to 6. Join Art Grand on Saturday the 29th at 10:30 for a healing circle. Donate a car, boat, motorcycle, or any vehicle, and CBS will receive 80% of the sale. Please see Effie Lubliner. He'll tell you more about it. You don't have to live in Napa to participate, so tell your friends and family. In case you haven't been taking notes, the most recent newsletter with information on all temple events is available by clicking the link on the CBS homepage. And a flyer for the upcoming events can be found in the lobby. Tonight's Kiddush is sponsored by Kathleen Conroy. Don't forget, daylight savings time starts Sunday, so spring ahead 1 hour. We'd like to give warm wishes to this week's birthdays. They are Susan Siegel Wood, Shecky Maluso, Howard Eisenstark, Micah Eisenberg, Eyal Kadori. And happy anniversary. I don't think we have any anniversaries. That's it. Hope to see you all next Saturday.
I'm going to add maybe you mentioned next Friday. I don't remember if you.
As one of the Purim.
One of the Purim. Yeah. So that we're going to be reading a version of the Megillah, which is in a kind of a Dr. Seuss style. We're going to have 3 readers, congregants. There's going to be like a 6-piece band, including a couple kids, and Katie DePasqua and Roy Barish, and we're going to have 3 background singers, and so it's going to be a lot of participation and real fun. So I just want to give that some equal promotion. So.
And feel free to come in costume too. We are going to shift gears now. Our thoughts turn to those who are no longer with us, those who have passed both recently and in seasons past. We remember those who have died within the last 12 months. Lauren Bisberg, Chava Pearl Bat Herschel Veroz Gittel, Victor Lynn, Rosella Bernstein, Morris Feynman, Frank Lickman, Dee Copeland, Dr. Rodney Block, Eileen Gotkin, Eugene DePasqua, Barbara Balick, Debbie Mendelson, Peter LeBand, Michael Blend, Renee Marer, William Powell Hudson, David Folkman, David Ash, Diane Gallagher, Elizabeth Foster, Diane Rado Persile, Lynn Posner, Shiri Bibas, Ariel Bibas, Kafir Bibas, Sharon Meyer Fuller, Wolfgang Schechter, Itzhak Elgarat, Tsachi Idan, Ohad Yahalomi, Shlomo Mansour, and Odad Yahalomi. We also remember and honor the art sites, the anniversaries of the deaths of Jerry Mautner, Elaine Bland, Margaret Klebanoff, Rudy Simon Weir, Joseph Mikulski, Annie Leakin, Adele Metzel, Samuel Lazarus, Leon Sukoff, Vincent Amendola, Michelle Wolf, Ella Trucker, Lottie Kelman, Robert Julian Feingold, Connie Unger, Carola Bien, Florence Jeanette, Lucille Posner, James Brady, Mardell Reese Rome, George Gordon, Jeannie Goodwin, Barry Elias, Leo Rakita, Rosalind Kaufman Johnson, Mardell Rome, Peter Gordon, Jackie Suri, Yentel Hecht, and William Rosenblatt. And if anyone has a name that they'd like to add to our list, I invite you to please do so. The mourner's Kaddish is on page 598. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei rabbah be'alma divrach herutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael b'agala uv'izman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lamei maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabak v'yitfa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseb v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudsha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all those in mourning and comfort to all those who are bereaved. And let us all say amen. Please be seated. We are going to turn to our final song before we do Kiddush and Motzi.
Yes, one more thing, which I forgot to say about next week, is we will be having a special guest keyboard player that you will not want to miss. I will not say who it is, so you have to just come. Okay. We're going to turn to page 673. And in the spirit of Purim, we're going to do Utsu Etza. We'll start it slow, we'll speed it up, we'll do a little lilais at the end. It goes like this. Utsu, well, we'll do it in this key. How about this one? Utsu Etza Vetufar. Utsu Etza Vetufar. Utsu Etza Vetufar. Dabru Davar Velo Yakun Ki Immanuel. Utsu Etza Vetufar. Dabru Davar Velo Yakum Ki Immanuel. Utsu Etza Vetufar. Utsu Etza Vetufar. Utsu Etza Vetufar. Dabru Davar Velo Yakum Ki Immanuel. Utsu Etza Vetufar. Dabru Davar Velo Yakum Ki Immanuel. Utsu Etza Vetufar. Utsu Etza Vetufar. Utsu Etza Vetufar. Dabru Davar Velo Yakum Ki Immanuel. Utsu Etza Vetufar. Dabru Davar Velo Yakum Ki Immanuel. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. La 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 la. Ya la 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 la.
That was too fast for me. That was good.
You have to
Effie,
practice.
were you able to follow that? You grew up with this, right? Yeah, it's a kid's song. Okay, let's rise for Kiddush and Motzi.
Well, I was kidding.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Bore Peri Hagafen. Amen. L'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Patei Avon.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat